They,
And people think they have a vendetta or a vengeance or a reason to push a stock up or down, but it's impossible to push Apple up or down. No one market maker has enough capital to do it. The market's too big. It's way bigger than any one guy.
so I think that's a big misnomer. You hear a lot of people talking about that, especially people that push gamma exposure and stuff like that, that it's the market makers pushing it around. But I think it's trading desks
Yeah.
that push these things around.
And sometimes options prices. Back in the day, my whole life, it was the underlying stock controlled the price of the option. But in this day and age, it's more like the tail wagging the dog on some stocks where the options market is controlling the stock price. And the market makers or even the market makers in the stock who aren't making a market in the options, they're still paying attention to the option price. It's a little off now, like you're saying.
And I think now on Qs particularly and SPY, we have 0 day options. That means there's an expiration date every day that the market's open. And usually the biggest volumes are happening on the 0 days. Like this 500 million wasn't here earlier. It was down here at 590, I think it was. Yeah, we had one actually at 600 up here. We had one at 590, these big levels that were out for the monthly. Now there's a lot of people that play monthly options and still, that kind of the history of options. We had quarterlies and then we had monthlies, then weeklies. Now we're getting dailies and 3 times a week. But there's still a lot of trading systems and a lot of prospectuses out there that only use those monthly options. So that monthly and especially the quarter end of the quarter, which is what this March 20 is, that tends to be a big day to play. And that can push things around, but it can also mute things as that options exposure comes to play. Now I have this kind of working theory that the market likes to find a balance and screw the most number of people that have bought and sold these options. Now, if the market makers are offloading them or getting their exposure to zero, they don't really care where price goes as long as they can move the biggest volume. But those trading desks will go after those options players, I feel like, and try to screw as many of them as they possibly can. Maybe
I
helping out, maybe helping out the market makers.
A little bit. Today, I'm seeing absolutely positively worthless out of the money options still trading for between 10 and sometimes 25 cents, right? So if you're buying that thing at a quarter, 25 cents, you're just getting 100% ripped off. It's just so many crazy options prices on Fridays.
Now, the reason, what got my attention right here is this started out actually a bit more positive today. We were up here around 606. And when I kind of wrapped up my morning show, I was looking at these levels and we were hanging out up here around, I guess it was around 600. We had opened up here. We have big levels all the way up here, had them at the beginning, but now we're pushing down lower. We're going for this big level down here at 590. That was just showing off that
Yeah.
big highlighted level. We
Was
actually
this
have one 400 million out here. This was the big level before this bubble started forming today.
What was that big switch? Go back to your chart. I was trading. I wasn't paying attention. Was there a headline or something that came out? Like the market was looking really good. And
Yeah,
then
we were looking good at first and then
what happened? Was there a news
turning
headline?
negative.
We had a whole
I
news.
I don't believe it happens on headlines. I think we were actually dipping pre-market on the futures. We had made this big low. It was negative, and then all of a sudden something kicked in right here and started buying it right into the open. And now we're
It's
taking it right back down.
hard, fast.
Well, it
I
went up really fast from that's like 4 in the morning right until the 9:30 open, and then we started selling off hard.
can't, man, you can't ever trust a Friday. I'll tell you, it's one way then another, all in the same morning.
But if you just zoom out and look at the last couple of days, what's the trend?
And we called that a couple days ago when I was showing you the trend points that I use, the crossover. Everything was down. Now here,
Hmm.
continuation.
Yeah, and that's we look at QQQ again. I've still got your trim points set up on here.
That's hilarious. That crossover is money in the bank, folks.
We're pushing, Jack said we're probably gonna go test
Yeah, the
that
long
red trim point.
208-day exponential moving average.
And we're sitting right on, like, you see the support we're having on my line, my
Yep.
roadmap line. We've been holding support right there for a while, but I think when this crossed, maybe Jack, it's kind of funny when different approaches have the same kind of bias to the market.
Isn't it?
It's something you can kind of count on, take to the bank, and maybe trade.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
right here, I think we might dip out to that trend
yep.
point like Jack talked about.
Stinks. The market's stinky. Roger and I used to have that show we did, and whenever he had a stock and I had a stock, we each picked three stocks. Whenever he had one and I had one, I had a special pen that I used to write that stock down because that's exactly what you're saying. When two guys that come at this thing from completely opposite directions meet and agree, it's going that way.
Yeah, it's I look at it as a confluence of methods and opinions. I love to stack confluence. That's basically stacking probability in your favor.
Yes. But look at your line, man. Holy mackerel. How many times? One, two, three,
Four,
four.
five, six, 7, 8, 9. 9 days we've been hitting
Look at
it.
that. Look at that one where the wick just 2 days where the wick just touched it.
Yeah, we actually had 4 days with it. Like, if you look at
Wick,
this, there's one right there, there's one
I mean,
right there,
just touched it. Yeah,
one
barely
right
touched.
one right there. I mean, this one touched too, I guess. This one touched right there.
That right there means you have a very accurate indicator, folks. That's what that means. His and mine. But look at what he's got there. Wow, that's a gives you a huge edge because you kind of get an idea what's going to happen.
I've been trading that support for days. With my put credit spreads and stuff like that. And but it looks like we might actually get a push through today.
Mhm.
And the big thing we need is we need to go touch a low lower than this low.
Little flush. That would a little program selling kick in.
This low was an important low back right around Thanksgiving. But once we recovered from it, the Qs were not able to make a higher high.
Never
That
have.
mean that means that this low was statistically not going to be the lowest low. And we're probably going to push this down, at least touch a low lower than that low back there in November before we can go higher again.
How fast would that happen, Professor?
Um, the time is the hardest part of this for me. I can predict price levels really darn well. Time is a little more tricky. And I don't really have a has to do it within certain time frame. Now, if I'm a guesser based on this right here, there's a magic week coming up next week where a whole bunch of stuff expires. And right in the middle of it, FOMC.
Mm. That's going to kick off three crazy volatile days. And the 20th is the triple witcher.
Yeah, triple witcher or quad witcher or whichever way you look at it. We've got the monthlies expiring then, the weeklies expiring then, the
The
dailies, the quarterlies, I mean, it's like,
three time a weekers. Yeah.
see, and so VIX, a lot of people think about VIX being part of the whole constellation, but it actually, the last day to trade it is on Tuesday. It actually expires out at the open on FOMC day. So the VIX, the monthly VIX that covers FOMC is April right here. We're setting up for some fireworks next week, I think.
I agree. Now, do you have any data, Professor, on what happens during FOMC days? Like it moves this much up or down? Or
You
any
know, historically, FOMCs are the biggest mover days in the market. Just with no other news, no other anything pictured in. we use FOMC as the excuse more often than not.
Right.
Now, as far as bullish or bearish, there's no real bias to it. Sometimes it's a pop, sometimes it's a drop. Now we've been winding up these charts, and if we don't make that lower low before the 18th, that might be the excuse to dip it down, make that lower low before we can go higher.
I think that's a great point about using the FOMC as an excuse rather than seeing it as a driver or a catalyst. I've never paid attention to an FOMC meeting in my life, never written down the date, never cared. I don't believe the market cares about it, but I believe panicky investors do.
I believe that it is an excuse to move the market. And we do there the price going into it a lot of times is very muted. We get these very muted moves, like the market's holding its breath. And
Mhm.
we hold our breath right up until that 2 o'clock. And now, since Jerome Powell's been the Fed chair, sometimes we even hold it till 2:30 when he starts speaking. So right around that 2:30 time frame, that's when we break it free. Now, the last couple, he's done really, really good at making sure he tips off the right people to tell everybody exactly what's going to happen. And I think he learned this lesson early that if you kind of keep it all a secret and you surprise the market, you get these giant outsized reactions. In the last few FOMC meetings, it just kind of been what what a lot of people refer to as duds. Um, the volatility just collapses and the price doesn't really move.
So he's not going to jail for redoing the building?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even keep up with
What
that.
was on his case for rebuilding the Fed?
Yeah, he spent whatever it was, $50 billion or went
How do you
over
do
the
that, man?
budget. I don't even know. How do you spend $50 billion rebuilding right just touching up a building?
I don't get it. Billion, you're saying? Now,
It
50
was,
billion, I could see. It needs a new roof, heater, man. But 50 billion,
I
geez.
mean, what are you building in there? I mean,
Oh, I don't know.
building a vault or something? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know what you would spend on it. I'd like to see the receipts.
anyway, so there is a big crazy potential event coming up next week. And one way to hedge it, you could buy a put spread looking for a flush down here in the low or maybe in the mid 585, 580 area. We can look at that in a minute. Another way to potentially hedge this would be buying some VIX. Now, the key here is you might want to play the most liquid ones are going to be the April expiration. This April AM expiration here. Those are going to be the most liquid. Now, you could be a little more aggressive and play not next week's expiration, but the following week's expiration. If we actually do get a bunch of chaos, be quick to close it.
How would you play it?
I'd probably, I'd probably go with either a call that costs around $1,
Expecting it to go up.
expecting a pop, or almost the easier way to do it. One of your favorite ways. I mean, look at this. The at the money
Hmm,
call spread is going for 14 cents.
That's 14 bucks for the trade, folks. And the upside is,
The upside would be 85, 86 bucks.
which would be about a seven bagger. So who wants 700 times their money on a $14 trade? Here's how you do it.
So, this is the crazy way. And like, you're like, well, 14 bucks doesn't, even if I doubled it or tripled it or seven times it, that doesn't make me much money. But you can do this for as much money as you want to put at it. And even 10 of them is only 140 bucks.
Yeah, and that's
There's
700 and whatever possibly.
160 bucks now.
I think 10 grand on that turns into 70 grand, 60 grand.
So that's one way to do it right there.
Or it
And
turns into nothing and you lose the whole 10 grand if this thing doesn't move. That's the
yeah,
problem.
what happens if it doesn't move? You lose
All
lose
of
what
it.
you pay.
Which is why whenever you're doing anything other than an income trade, any debit spread or direct, especially buying option, you want to realize that you're not going to put up more money than you're willing to lose 100% of. So for me, that's a tremendously smaller amount than I would allocate to a cash trade, cash generation trade, because I'm paying to get in this. And if it doesn't move, I'm losing all my money. I'm going to put just 1 to 2% of what I normally put in a trade.
See if I
That,
can actually get it filled.
yeah, that'd be hilarious.
I'm just gonna do like 5. That's like roughly. Let's go up a couple. Let's see. Yeah, it's not gonna like market's smart. It's not gonna just take it. The market maker is just sitting there like, but
How
look
many?
at that.
But
I'm
yes.
above. I'm going for 5 right there. I'm 2 pennies above the mid.
What expiration?
This is next. Not
You
This is the
might let,
25th.
you might leave that cook. That's not too much.
That's the last day that traded is the 24th.
There's a lot of room in there. I mean, imagine if you sell at $2, you'd have to sell a little over $2 to get 15 on the sell side. That might be a little tight.
And they're pulling the mid right back down to 14. Let me see if I can get it 20. See if I'll take it. $100.
No,
I
no.
may let it cook for a little bit, see if it'll fill.
That's in there, you see?
They know it's not like they know this is a bad trade.
No room for them. So they'd have to buy it lower to fill your buy, right?
Yep. This is
And
interesting though, like how the mid is sitting there so darn low. Yeah, this is like just because you find the trades, you can't always get filled them.
see, that's a lot tighter than the other spread down, right? I mean, you'd have to, you got a dollar, you got 37 cents in there. Yeah, you got to be able to sell the one first higher than the midpoint almost, or at least at the midpoint to be able to buy
Yeah,
buy one
that
at the bid.
yeah, that one's going at 32 in the money.
Not that much room in there.
That one's at 14. That was at 19. So there's something special right at the money right now.
They don't want to cough it up. And look at how they got themselves. The spread on the 28 is crazy compared. Something's happening there. They don't want to, what they're saying is they don't want to buy that 28.
Yeah.
What that's saying right there. Otherwise, that would either be higher or that ask would be lower. Yeah, that's something funky there.
Monkey business.
Monkey business, shenanigans right there. It's too tight.
I'll leave that cooking for a few minutes. See if it'll fill.
Anybody else on here going to take that trade? Let us know in the chat if he
Yeah.
likes it.
I'm still looking at a 4-to-1 right here. I can make 80 cents profit.
I've got filled at a quarter.
Yeah, that's a 3-to-1 and a quarter.
Ed. So now, Clyde, maybe you want to put that for sale out there at a price, 50% or 100% higher than
Yeah,
what you.
double, just a double would be really nice.
Yeah, so you got four of them at a quarter. Here's just an idea. You throw two for sale. Oh, you have four. You throw two for sale at 50 cents. So you double your money on those two. You throw one out there at 75, and you hold the last one out there for over $1. Just an idea. You stagger them.
Just a potential way to play.
Clyde jumped on it, man. Way to go. I
So
love that.
anybody finding value in this today? Something different?
Yeah. Now we normally never pay to get into a trade. So that's Clyde knows not to battle the fills. Yeah, way to go, Clyde. Yeah, we normally never, ever, ever take this is basically a directional trade where we pay money to get into it. That's not something we normally do. So when we do it, it's going to be much less dollar amount. It's kind of speculation compared to bringing in cash flow all
I
day.
just I think there's room for some chaos next week, and this is a way to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
and it's a relatively low cost way to take advantage of it with a nice upside potential,
Yeah.
right? I'm looking at putting $100 into this. Maybe if I go up to 25, it'll be a little bit more, but I don't know. I'm kind of sitting here debating it right now. We'll
Yeah.
leave
Every
it cook.
now and then something just draws you to a directional trade, like the one in Duolingo. I just, yeah, for whatever reason, I rarely do that stuff. But I've been shorting more this year than I normally have.
Well, everything is just so full of fluff.
Silver, Rigetti, bunch of other crap this
And
year.
we shorted Ibit, we shorted Microsoft, or I shorted Microsoft. You know, we shorted that Rigetti. We now you're shorting Duo. Uh,
Oh,
it's
silver. Yeah, I shorted silver on that spike. I love those.
now I just rolled forward my Ibit and had to come up off the 3650. I came up to a 38. Just
It's holding its own, I'll say that much.
look at how well that's been holding right there.
Tell you, I'm shocked. I'm waiting for the rug pull here into the mid 30s.
Now it's probably going to happen.
That's what I'm counting on. I'm not doing anything with it, still selling calls, but yeah,
If I jump over here and outline, grab my Bitcoin chart, I thought we would pop a little bit higher, and we could bleed that up over the weekend. That the thing about Bitcoin is it can do this move over the weekend, and you can't do jack diddly about your options.
nope.
Then we'll probably bleed it back down into the same support area, and then we'll probably grind it back higher again, one more high, and then we'll probably rip it in the summer to that lower mid 30s or even the 20s on IBIT.
Crypto.
Really, really bum people out. And I've
One
got
thing,
to,
you can't do anything about your options, but you can trade IBIT in the after hour session and over the weekend. So just beware of that. You're never trapped in that.
but if you got like covered calls and stuff, you can't just sell the shares out from underneath it.
Doomed.
So
You're
if you're
stuck.
doing if you're doing our triple income system, you can get stuck kind of stuck, especially on Bitcoin where you can't do anything for the weekend because it still trades 24/7, never stops, never sleeps. So that's the risk of trading IBIT with some kind of aggressive triple incomes type stuff. And IBIT doesn't pay any dividends, so you're never going to get that fourth magic income method on triple income of dividends.
Yeah. If the beta dries up, I wouldn't really see a play in this thing.
Yeah, the beta's been kind of light, I
Yeah.
do believe. Let's see.
It was the highest when I started doing
Probably
coverage on
this thing
Byron.
probably gonna show off my personal information once again. Yeah.
Get there.
Hold on. No, it's not my jet. You ask me every time. They don't let me have a they don't just let me have a cool jet like that.
It's flying pretty low there. Is that
It's
could
down
that
there in Florida. It's down there in your neck of the woods. Anyway, pulling up IBIT, get the beta on here. 2.67 on here. So it's still rocking and rolling pretty heavy. But over on TradingView, it doesn't show it, but at 50, oddly enough.
it is?
You know, a much to me, a much better one is paying better. I just rolled this 74. I've been selling the 74. I actually got a 69 also. But I've been rolling the 79, the 74 across. I just got paid like $4 for next week. 1 week out.
I sold the 67s yesterday. I've been doing hood all the time. Did another 72 put. I'd love to get that. And I did another 72 put. More I pounded on that thing. And I did a
So somebody, we've had this question quite often. What is a roll? And it's where you would buy back. I had this 74 sold. You would buy it back and you come out here to the next week and sell the same one. And right now it's only going for 240. I got over 3, closer to 4 for it a little bit ago when it was just a little bit higher. Absolute ridiculous.
Yeah, you buy it back at a lower price. That's the main thing. So if you sell it at $2 and you can buy it back for a dime, whenever you're up, say 90% on the position, you can always close it and roll it. And that's going to be more efficient, give you a higher yield overall.
Now, usually if we're starting these, Jack and I are always talking about going after the 40% ROI. Once I start one, I tend to keep hitting that same strike over and over and over and over. And that's where I stack up some of the income, especially if it just hovers right at my entry point. Like 74 would be my entry point where I would take the shares if it puts it to me. I'm stacking up like, look at that. I'm reducing my cost by like $2 to $3. Like if I did it right now, it'd be a cost reduction of $2.40 a share.
Which means if you got the stock put to you at 74, you could turn around and sell it at 74 and still make the $239 per contract.
Yeah.
Which is why the cash secured put, it can be extremely hard to lose money on it. And it could be a big money maker. Either you're flipping the shares or you're taking them in and then selling calls. But this thing's kind of found a bottom, as you say, and we're getting paid mad money while it goes sideways.
It's look at it. We were talking about my roadmap line being support on the Qs. Look at this though. It's like right in this level right here. Like you could draw a line in here. Being in this right in this zone or right under this zone where Jack was, and I've actually got a 69. Jack said he did a 67. Being right in this
69.
zone right here, every time it dips in there, it goes shooting back up.
We got 10 of these out here all over the place. Yeah, it's just, and I'll take it. I'd love to take it. Every time I've gotten this thing, it's been a big money maker.
So this is an income opportunity right here.
I got the 72 puts, the 69 puts, the 67 puts. I'd
This is
like,
not this is not catching a falling knife. All right. If you had done it right over here, naively, that's catching a falling knife. But this was the zone that I drew all the way
for
back here. Yeah, Jack thought I was like I was smoking some tough stuff Chiba here when I
yeah,
said we were going back down to the 70s.
shine. Well, I had just picked up a load of it at 88. I don't know if you remember, and I'm watching it go up, and I'm thinking, man, this is one of the best trades ever. It went to 140 or 142 from my 88. I'm like, it's just getting started. I don't know why you're calling for a pullback. It's never going to get down to 73 ever. Yeah, look at it.
And
We're right. I was wrong.
I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it at all until we got down here. And that's where I started selling the 69. And then when we popped a little bit, I added the 74 to it. And this thing's just been printing money as it churns sideways right here at this support. Could it dip lower one more time? Sure. Could it break down and go on down? Sure. I don't think it's going to. I think we're set to rally out of here.
Yeah, all my hoods expired today.
We're just waiting on the market.
72 puts. I'd love those. I probably won't get I got a more 72 puts. I better look this up. 7 puts. I don't know how many. Oh, here it is. 10 at the 67, 10 at the 72.
I need to pull up this triple income report for today and get it loaded into Google Docs for everybody so I can share it.
Steven, I'd sell any put below hood wherever you like. It's paying pretty good too. Good stock to be long. I'm already long it, just being fully disclosed. I have it in my HSA account.
Do, 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 do. And need to make a couple edits. What it said.
I got a couple that are right on the line today.
Ah, that's the wrong.
The line.
I pulled in the wrong one. Heck,
Yeah. I mean, AVGO right on the line at 327.50.
let me see what happened here.
It'll be a good day to roll out a bunch of stuff expiring worthless.
I grabbed the wrong one. Tagament. Let me forward the other one. Forward to stuff for videos. There we go. Let me see if I can't replace this. Yeah, that's one I just loaded was too small. I was like, why is it so small? And of course, it was a summary of potential changes.
Yeah, Mike, in St. Louis, is there a statistical roll at 80% profit? There's a lot of people that will tell you to roll, 75, whatever. I like to wait till it's at 90%. I don't want to pay too much to buy back the option, but it's a personal preference. I don't know if there's a statistical number to roll at, but people have all kind of ideas about that. I like 90, at least 90% before I'm going to roll.
Yeah, it kind of depends on your personal preference a little bit.
Like today, you can pay 15 cents to close out a position if it's out of the money and it's still got a stupid bid or ask of 15 cents, or you could wait till after lunch and you can get it for 5 or 3. So I hate paying back. I'll give back $5, Mike, but I don't want to give back, $100.
All right, let's see. I got it put in some of the information about what it was doing at the bottom, things that changed and whatnot. I was deleting that off here. I left some of it on here, and there we go. And now I need to share this so that everybody can get it. I didn't give, I haven't given Kraken my Google Drive yet. I don't trust it to be messing in my files. So it
Really?
delivers it.
You don't
It
trust your own AI creation? It's like not trusting your own kid.
Hey, I don't trust my own kids either.
Okay, well then there you have it, folks.
All right. Make sure that I just did that right. Everybody's a viewer. Nobody's getting editing access. If you want to edit it, just make your own copy. And here you go. We can pin that to the top.
We're doing this.
Yeah. Going trout fishing this weekend. I thought you were going to the Bassmasters. You're at the Bassmasters. Okay. I was gonna say. Ronger been talking about the Bassmasters for weeks. All right.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fisherman, man. I don't know if you could tell by my background here on Zoom. Love fishing. Unfortunately, though, here in Kansas, we only fish lakes for trout, and they're all stocked, so it's kind of lame. Um,
Well, yeah, the lakes here
but
are kind of the river dammed up.
oh, okay, I got you. Okay, so it's like Taneycomo down in Branson.
Yeah.
They just kind of turn a river into a lake.
Yeah. So it's the Tennessee River and the Clinch River, and we've got the Holston and the French Broad, and they all have dams on them and make these lakes all over right here. It's all TVA dams, and
Which broad?
yeah, French Broad.
Wow. Is that a lake or a?
It's a river. Comes down from North Carolina.
Hey,
Anyway, yeah, so beautiful. I love to fly over the Norris Lake, and especially in the fall.
I'll bet that's amazing.
All righty. Dun, 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 dun. Can you show the formula for the 40%? Absolutely. Check this out right here. Right here. You take your premium that you collect right there. You divide by the capital requirement of that position. You get a return percentage. You divide that by 30 days or the days to expire. This example right here, 30 days. Then you multiply that by 365 days and you get an annualized rate of return. Right there. That's an example. You can screenshot it right off here. We'll have this report ready for people, hopefully in the not so distant future. So if you sell, say a stock's at 28, you want to own it at 26, you sell that 26 strike put, you collect $1 premium. You got to have 2,600 bucks in your account because that's the 26 strike times 100 shares. So you got paid 120 bucks. It took you 260 bucks in your cash in your account. That gets you a 4.6% return. But how long did it take? In this example, that option was 30 days out. So we divide by 30 days to get a daily rate of return. And then if you did that yearly, every day of the year, that's what annualized means. You multiply that by 365 to get your annualized rate of return. Right there. And some people have a little heartburn. They're like, oh, but there's only 250 trading days, or you come up all these excuses. But if you jumped out an entire year, if you went from right now and you sold an option 365 days from now, and you collected enough money to get you a 40% return on that money, that's the annualized rate of return right there, 1 year out. So that's how it works. We're just taking the shorter term, shorter duration, this 30 days in this example. And we can do it on a live chart too. Maybe pop that back up, pull that back over. If you were going out 7 days on hood, say we did the 69 or Jack 67 even right here.
I like the 69 here.
Let's talk about the 69. Let's just use the 69 for example. Now the manual way to do this, if you don't have any fancy tool that does it for you, that's 127 bucks. Right now at the mid, you would use whatever price you got filled. If before you get filled, using the mid is the best way to kind of figure it out. Now this spread a little bit wide, but not horrible. When they're 5 cents or even a penny, that's pretty tight. When they're going to be 10, 15, 20 cents, that's getting a little wide. When they're like $1, $2, $3, that's really wide. So be careful on those. And Jackson there shaking his head because he was a market maker. He knows that that's kind of the game. I mean, plus, if you traded for any time at all, tight bid asks are when these two prices are really close, and wide bid asks are when they're really far apart.
And it tells you how many players and how intense the game is. If it's wide apart, there's not a lot of players because the market maker doesn't have much of a chance to hedge. He makes a sale at the ask and it's wide, then he's got to raise his bid crazy amount to cover. But when the spread's tight, they can relax and know that they're just going to make money off the volume.
Now, 127 is what we get paid immediately to get into this. If we got in the mid's dropping just a little bit. Now it's 125. We could, just grab it 125. If we did this, the broker is going to reserve 69 bucks per share times 100 shares, so 6,900 bucks in our account. Divide by 6,900, and that gets us a rate of return 1.8%. And you're like, whew, that kind of sucks, man. Why would I do a trade for 1.8% return? Right? I mean, like, who wants to do a trade for 1%?
No, why would I do that when I can make 700% on a debit spread?
Yeah. So we divide this by 7 days to expire. That gets us our daily rate of return at 0.2%. That sounds horrible. Then we multiply it by 365 days because we get 0.2% all year long if we're doing this aggressively. And that's 94% rate of return if we just did this trade all year long.
There you have it. Probability on your side.
And look how far down below the money you are.
And
You
you're
got,
not paid. You're not paying to get into this trade. You're getting paid $125 per contract. So every 6,900 you put up, you get 125.
and now it's up to 132. So that rate of return is even higher.
As soon as I can roll out of these hoods I got, I'm going to do this again.
So there
I
you
got
go. That's how you do the rate of the annualized rate of return on
Yeah.
these.
I'm going to buy back all these crazy puts at 67, 69, 72 that expire today, and I'm going to roll them out.
That was weird. I must have triggered some kind of Windows magic right there, moving that calculator over. So just minimized everything on my screen. All right. Back to the report. If I can figure out where I just did with it. Today's report. That was not today's. That's today's. Here's the triple income report for today, Jack. Scan 137, pick 10. Sweet spot, 40% ROI. Days to expire, 14, 7 to 14 roughly. Pattern requirement. I got after it. Yes, I got after it yesterday. Make sure these charts are in here. It kicked out Nike, kicked out something else too. So number one, it found SPY. It's in a market roadmap bounce. We're sitting there on the market roadmap. Bounce potential. Same for Qs. Apple. It's in an uptrend, but it's also on the market roadmap. Microsoft. I'm not sure that's an uptrend. Chevron, uptrend. LMT, roadmap bounce potential. JPM, uptrend. Home Depot, measured bounce. MasterCard, uptrend. And IWM, market roadmap bounce potential. I don't think that's a sub 5K. We're gonna have to get on it about how to figure out that. That's a $200. That's a 20K account right there. I'll have to
I did this
talk to it about
last.
how to. So IWM's gone from, yeah, IWM is not a sub 5K. I'll have to talk to it about what that means. That one's also a 50K. That's a 15K. That's not in the right one either. So it doesn't quite understand what the capital requirements are of the trade, I guess. This is why you don't want it trading for you yet, until I get it all trained up. It's not understanding the capital requirements here today for some reason. Now these picks right here, 20, those are all proper. Right there.
Not much tech. It's funny.
So it wrote up a little bit of report about each one of these. And so I got after it about a few things yesterday. It had only picked 5 in the preliminary report. I made it pick 10 today. It wasn't doing the capital tiers properly. Still not doing it. I'll have to talk to it some more. Yesterday, we were only doing dates DTE, and you and a couple other commenters asked for the expiration date. So it should have that in here now. It's picking proper expiration dates. Those are all valid. March 20, March 27. Those are good.
That's new.
Yeah, I mean, I got after it. I told it to make sure it always included that expiration date, so we knew which option we were picking. And these reports are going to get better and better, everybody. These are free every day if you just show up. So we didn't have a pattern check on the price pattern, and I added that today.
Give them a little background on what Kraken is and what it's doing.
So Krakin is one of these open claw bots. If you've heard about this on the news or mainstream media or social media, you've heard about these AI agents that are taking over the world. Kraken made this report right here. And it didn't claim maybe I cut it off. At the bottom, it's been claiming the authorship of the report. I may have cut it off when I was cutting off the extra stuff it wrote at the bottom.
So this AI agent is looking for stocks that we can apply the triple income strategy on, which is mostly starting off selling a cash secured put. And we need stock ideas to do that strategy. So that's what it's picking. And it tells us which strike how much capital, what the date of expiration is, how many days until expiration, the buffer on the downside, how much lower your strike is, your put strike than the stock price, uh, everything you really need. Annualized rate of return, which we're going for 40%, but it's picking the strikes for you now, which is, and it's showing you the premium. So it's really getting super sweet, super tight. It's just a go-to formula right there every single day. If you need a new trade, Kraken is going to give it to you on a silver platter.
Yeah. So keep coming back. We're having more and more of these. It picked a lot of high price stuff today. It was telling it was arguing with me about the volatility regime. And it was saying that, I was like, I think there's plenty of opportunities. It was saying, no, it's the volatility is like at 20, VIX is at 26, and this is kind of a dangerous environment. And I think you should go after higher price stuff. And it was a whole interesting conversation I was having in the background.
When it's arguing with you, does it raise its voice?
It's all text. It just it just blasts me like a like 20 paragraphs of text, and as fast as I can read it, it's ready to blast me another whole paragraph of text.
Yeah,
But I haven't given it a voice yet. I mean, I might. Um, you know, my buddy Rob Booker, he actually gave his a voice, and he had it send me a voice message. It's the craziest freaking thing. So anyway,
people
this
saying.
is this is interesting technology. It just helps me create more content faster for everybody. There's no way I could sit here and create this report every day for everybody. It'd probably take me 2 or 3 interns to be able to get through 10 of these first thing in the morning, right before the show every day.
It's fascinating. And thanks again for putting it together. I tell you, this has been a real good gift.
And if you got any complaints about it, that's cool. We're leave them in the chat. We'll keep
Let us know.
improving. You can see the improvements it did here today. What I got right. I was doing this. I told it to add a QA/QC critique at the bottom every day. It got these right, and it fixed these problems from yesterday. We're going to get after it tomorrow. All picks have real prices. We've had that problem in the past where it picked up simulated prices. All picks have downside buffers. All picks have chart patterns, no random picks. All picks are quality names, no meme stock or penny stocks. That was a problem in the beginning too.
How about
And
beta?
the beta's right there.
Where?
Beta greater than 1 right there.
Yeah.
It's a requirement. All picks meet the criteria. Days to expire 7 to 14.
How about beta greater than 1.3, just to get a
All right.
little more juicy plays.
All right, I can add 1.3.
0.5, I don't know, just to get some of this, get a little more stuff going on in here.
I'm going to try to get it more. I'm going to try to give it a little bit of. We need 3 picks under $50 or something like that. 3 picks under $100, and then the rest of them can be over, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, another thing I want to do is give it 7 stocks and every week see if it can just tell you what trades to do on those.
I see it. Nike. It was on the list yesterday. Had no pattern when it did the pattern check. Rejected. Ulta. It was in a downtrend, so avoid it. XLE was one. It found that was a potential, but it said it found better names. So those were some that it threw out that were on the watch list. And then it gives you how the triple income works right here at the bottom. So step 1, this was, you all were asking, so I had to throw in this. Pick a strike price you're willing to own. On a stock you're willing to own. Collect premium up front. Income number 1. Stock stays above your strike, keep the premium and repeat. If the stock drops below your strike, get assigned, you own 100 shares. Now, you own 100 shares, you can sell calls against your shares. Collect premium, income number 2. If stock stays below the strike, keep your shares. If stock rises above the strike, shares get called away. That's income number 3. Actually, you profit on the stock and on the calls.
That's the big money.
That's the big money part. And then This is actually income number 4 right here.
The dangling participle.
Ah, 3. Put my finger on the right key. Like I said, I'm not giving anybody permission to edit. Don't request it. If you want to edit, just make a copy. You can edit to your heart's content on your own copy.
Premium is a gift. I love that.
Yep. This is
God,
beautiful, right? Like
who wrote premium is a gift? Did it write that? The
it
mindset.
wrote. I didn't. I didn't write anything on here except
Look at
in the
that.
mindset. Premium is a gift. Downside protection is non-negotiable. And the
Love it.
triple income strategy. That's how you build generational wealth.
I love it. I love that.
So here's what we were arguing about. Oil's at 100. VIX is elevated. Fears in the air. But this is our season.
Yeah, we sell it.
We sell fear. And this is what Jack was, teasing out today is that war is an opportunity right here. And assignment isn't failure. It's
Love
step
that.
number 2. You get paid to
Love that.
wait, then you get paid to own it, then paid to wait again.
Can't believe it wrote this. This mindset is just precious, man.
This is beautiful, isn't it?
It really is. You know, even just for me, just to look at it again, this is all I do all day long. But yeah, just to look at that, how it kind of articulates it is very interesting. Premium is a gift, folks. If I wasn't for the options market, I'd either be digging ditches or in jail somewhere.
This thing's great. So if
It
you
is.
want the replays of today's show or any show that we've done recently, right there's the link in the document. And remember, this is educational content, not investment advice. I'm not a registered investment advisor, and options involve significant risk of loss. Past performance is not indicative of future results.
Very cool.
I think it's a pretty cool report. And
I think it's getting better. I can see the progress every day. It's really amazing. You've done a great job on this, man.
I just keep after it, and it keeps doing better work. So we're going to get it where it's like chef's kiss perfect, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yes. And folks, that strategy, you can keep this report, even though these kind of expire every day. That part at the bottom that gives you the strategy, you can cut and paste that into something else and just save that as your strategy right there. And then watch us refine it and do it in real time and watch us apply the concepts and principles to real trades and get better at doing it.
Yeah, this is it right here. Triple income, put premium, call premium, plus stock. Plus
Yeah.
dividends.
Yeah, if you're lucky, I'm trying to get XOM and JNJ every week.
And this one's the asterisk over here.
Yeah.
Maybe you get dividends if you get into something that pays dividends. But there you go, everybody.
That's it.
Blake, I'm not sure which thing we were selling today. If whether it's my thing or Jack's thing or
Hey, you know what? Might as well double check after yesterday. So today we do have your Apollo algo.
all
We
right.
are wanting to get people in on which we've been talking all about the AI bot Kraken. That's what
Yeah.
it's been able to do.
You know,
for you,
you know what?
besides this,
Yeah, I want to show off something real quick before we talk about that.
please.
Before we go into the Apollo, I have one of my bots working on another improvement. Like I just rolled out an improvement, and Jack and I talked about it this weekend. But that bot Eris, Jack, is already hard at work
Okay.
making another improvement right here. We're not just going to improve the market roadmap. You know, Apollo is a version of the market roadmap on a 30-minute time frame. And right now it's pulling 100,000 examples of the setup from the last actually 24 years of market data. It's building a machine learning classifier that can predict whether each setup is good, like how good it is before the alert fires off. So the historic average right now on Apollo is 75%. This thing is estimating that we can improve it to 82%
Now
win
we
rate.
we're not ready to give Eris money for the triple income strategy, but are we ready for me to give Eris money to trade the Apollo?
I, I I would wait until it builds this model. It's been working on this for 2 days now already, just going through 24 years of backtest data. It's building a database that's already over 100 gigabytes
Oh,
of data.
I'm so
And
anxious to get it going. I just cannot wait.
I mean, this stuff is happening right now as we're talking, everybody. So this thing is sitting here working in the background 24/7, trying to build this classifier and predictor. And once this gets rolled out, this will probably up the price on Apollo.
Now, if I fund it and we have a few losers, I'm confident. I love number two. That is just amazing that it can learn when you go back there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, it's crazy that we can learn what makes a setup win or lose,
all
and then we can predict future setups whether they're going to be better or worse.
right. Well, I would much rather invest in her than buy another stock. So let me know.
I mean, this is to me, this is crazy stuff. Blake, I don't
Yes,
know if you're using your bots to do anything like this, but
me, I don't have
Man,
her
I,
bots.
I personally use my bots for like news updates and just have it like pull data, like lots of data, and then I have it chunk that into like a Google spreadsheet, and then I do whatever I will with it. But yeah, I don't. This is on a next level for me personally. I mean, these things learn. They have memory files. You can give them heartbeats so they work in the background. Like there's some really kind of scary stuff that these AI bots can do. I've been seeing people use them, making Kalshi bots, like scalping,
well,
trying to make money and all
yeah,
types of
that's the
stuff. I
other
mean, it's
thing.
endless, right?
Eris is also sitting there logging the up down markets in Bitcoin every 5 seconds. The prices for the up down markets in Bitcoin, trying to find an edge in those markets.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it sounds like a lot of work. I couldn't see myself doing it, but maybe that's just my generation.
This is the power of like, hey, I just sit here and chat with it on my phone. I just sit here and like chat with it, and it sits there and comes up with these ideas. I'm like, guess what I can do?
Wait till you get caught by Mrs. Jeffrey talking to that thing late at night on the phone under the covers with the sheet up over your head, and you're in there with the light from the iPhone on your face. You ain't gonna like that.
Yeah, I usually sit on the couch and talk to it until I pass out.
Mrs. Turnmeyer's getting jealous. She said you were concocting something. She thinks you're
That's
up to no
her.
good, up
So
to
that's
some mischief.
her. You're doomed now.
And she was in the chat earlier there. Roll back up. She popped
Mm,
through.
she did. She
Just gonna
did.
check your phone to see if Eris texted you anything bad.
She said, I want to
Hmm.
pop in and say hi. I'm going to do stuff with our oldest child.
Look what she said before that.
Yeah,
Told her
let's
Jack
see.
was keeping you in line.
Yeah, has Jeffrey been behaving?
She's worried about these bots, man.
And
My
she
wife
said
is too.
she feels like Jack and I have been plotting some mischief.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm an expert at plotting mischief. I don't know if I asked anybody, but that's my wheelhouse. And I
Oh
got
yeah.
a lot of mischief planned this weekend. We got WrestleMania going down in Clearwater.
Okay.
Grandkids are going to be under extreme pain tonight at around 7 o'clock.
And Jack is going to wrestle kids, so we're not going to talk about that anymore.
Then we're going to bike racing on Saturday. So yeah, I got a whole weekend planned.
Yeah, insulting to think JT's going to use an iPhone. Come on, Jack.
You know.
Android.
Yeah, I'm
I
also an Android guy.
All right. I don't know what that is, but yeah, it sounds.
don't know what that is.
What's an Android, man? What is
I
that
don't know what
thing?
that is. Is that
What is an
Samsung?
Android? Yeah.
It's for
What do
all
you
us
got,
nerdy
Jeffrey?
Why
people.
would you get a
Yeah.
Why would you get a Samsung phone when you can get an iPhone?
Let's guess how old my phone is.
What phone is it?
Nokia 6 from 1994.
Is that okay? That looks like an A10. What is that? Is that like 5 years old?
It is a S20 Plus.
Okay, it's S20 plus, so it's probably 6 or 7 years old.
It's going to be 6 years old.
Yeah.
It's crossing six, working on seven now.
Time to get a new one, man. That battery probably dies on you, doesn't it?
No, that's the
What?
surprising thing. It can go all day still on the original battery.
No way. Get out of
Yes
here.
way. I'm
This
serious, man.
this S22 Ultra, maybe it's the chip in here that kills it, but I have to plug it in at least 3 or 4 times a day now.
It's
40 years old.
it's ridiculous. Like I Rongemer was kind of like, how old is that thing? Anyway, yeah, it's still going. And it still does everything I need to do. Still runs all the apps. I haven't ran into a single app where I can't run yet. So
Oh yeah.
it actually has a LiDAR camera in it, and that's one reason why I want to keep it because they
Yep.
took that out on the newer ones.
I know. They've changed. I don't even have. You probably still have a headphone jack too, don't you?
Not on this one.
No,
The big
that's
thing,
yeah.
the biggest reason I keep this one going, it has an SD card slot, and the new ones don't.
Okay. The new ones don't. Yeah, they just have built-in memory.
Well,
Once you
that,
run
And
out, you're out.
Wrong Armor was like, "How many pictures do you have?" I was like, "Oh, I got like 40,000 pictures I carry around with me." So
what do you
uh,
carry 40,000 pictures for?
show people stuff, man. When I was in Florida, I was pulling up stuff showing you.
I don't know,
I
man.
got all my pictures. What's crazy is I have like an index up here of the pictures, and I can go almost right to them and show people the pictures. So
Yeah. Of the
nutty
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, I got pictures and all sorts of stuff in there.
I bet you do.
Oh my.
All right, everybody, we're gonna play this Apollo.
Let's do
If,
it.
if you don't have it yet,
Yeah.
this is your chance to get it before Eris makes it even better and we up the price.